Over the course of the 20th century, a number of books have cemented themselves as literary landmarks, which, by definition, are works that go beyond storytelling to explore deeper truths about society, identity, and the human experience. Titles like To Kill a Mockingbird, The Great Gatsby, Brave New World, Fahrenheit 451, and 1984 continue to spark conversation decades after they were written. A few works take aim at political systems, or dare I say, human nature, as directly or as cleverly as George Orwell's Animal Farm. While it may appear to be a simple tale about happy animals on a farm, Orwell's novella is anything but innocent. Beneath the surface is a sharp critique of corruption, power, just how quickly noble ideas can fall apart. Animal Farm tells the story of a group of animals who overthrow their human farmer in hopes of creating a society where all animals are equal. But this revolution doesn't begin out of nowhere. It's sparked by a character named Old Major, a wise and respected pig who is widely regarded to represent Karl Marx, the philosopher and political theorist behind the Communist Manifesto, or animalism in the book's case. See, Marx, unlike others, saw inherent issues with capitalism, so he envisioned communism, a classless society that was equitable and had a stateless system. He believed that capitalism inherently exploited the working class and overall created instability. Because of this, he truly believed that his idea was the next stage of historical development after capitalism. Simply put, he thought it was the next big thing. After Old Major's death, two pigs step up to lead the revolution, Napoleon and Snowball. Together, they help drive out the farmer and take control of the farm. At first, it seems like they're carrying out Old Major's vision, but it doesn't take long before power begins to shift. Now, here's where it gets interesting. While Snowball represents Leon Trotsky, an idealistic leader focused on education and progress, Napoleon is a clear symbol of Joseph Stalin. Napoleon doesn't care about equality. He slowly begins to manipulate the other animals, use fear to control them, and even eliminate his opposition, just as Stalin did during and after the Russian Revolution. So while Old Major represents Marx and the original dream of communism, Napoleon shows how that dream was hijacked and twisted into something far more dangerous. And it's this brilliance that allows Orwell to begin to tie fiction into a reality. Because by the end, the animals realize that all they've done is trade one form of tyranny for another. The revolution is over, yet the oppression still remains. So what caused the fall of Animal Farm? What made a revolution that was built on equality somehow crumble into a dictatorship? Well, to answer that, it really comes down to three major forces: power hoarding, manipulation, and ignorance. But at the top of that list, the most influential of them all, the pig's desire to hoard power. From the start, the pigs begin positioning themselves as superior. They take extra food, give themselves authority, and slowly rewrite the rules of the farm to benefit only themselves. Napoleon's thirst for power fuels everything that follows. He drives out Snowball not because he disagrees with him, but because he wants no competition. Just like Stalin exiled Trotsky, not for a difference in vision, but to eliminate a political rival who would challenge his control. Think of it like a tree. The desire to hoard power is the root, buried deep, but feeding everything above it. From that root grows the twisted branches of manipulation and the heavy fruit of ignorance. You can cut off a branch or pick the fruit, but the corruption will keep growing as long as the root remains. That's why power hoarding isn't just part of the problem, it's the source of it all. In both Animal Farm and the Soviet Union, it was the obsession with staying in charge, not the original vision, that led to total collapse. To hold on to power, Napoleon and the other pigs rely on manipulation. They twist the truth, change the commandments, and use Squealer to spread propaganda. Just like Joseph Stalin used state-run media to control the public image of the Soviet Union, Napoleon uses Squealer to rewrite the truth and glorify leadership. In the same way that Stalin erased political enemies from photographs and history books, the pigs blame every failure on Snowball, painting him as a constant threat to the farm even when he's long gone. Or basically, public enemy number one. When the animals start to question what's happening, the pigs don't use logic, they use confusion. Their goal isn't to inform, it's to shut down thought. Because what can you do with something that you don't know? The pigs know that if the animals ever saw things clearly, they would rebel again. So instead, they control the story. And when you control the story, you control the people. Or in this rare case, it's the animals. Despite this, none of the manipulation would have been necessary if not for the pigs' obsession with power. Propaganda was never the goal. It was just a tool they used to protect the throne they never planned to share. But even manipulation only works if no one calls it out. That's where ignorance comes in. The animals are hardworking, loyal, and hopeful, but they're also uneducated. Most can't read, and many are too trusting to question authority. The pigs take full advantage of this, feeding them just enough information to keep them obedient. Boxer, the strongest and most loyal animal on the farm, sums it up perfectly with his famous lines, "I will work harder," or "Napoleon is always right." He never questions, never doubts, he just trusts. And that blind trust becomes a weakness the pigs use against him and everyone else. Except they don't realize they're being lied to until it's too late. In the end, Animal Farm isn't just about animals, or even about a failed revolution. It's about what happens when power is left unchecked. Orwell wrote the book as a direct response to the rise of the Soviet communism under Stalin, exposing how a movement built on equality can be hijacked by those who crave control. The pigs begin with promises of fairness, but the moment power becomes the goal, those promises vanish. Because that's the heart of the story. Power hoarding is what sets the corruption in motion, fuels the manipulation, and thrives off ignorance. The lies and blind trust only matter because they help protect the power the pigs refuse to give up. Despite this, Orwell's message isn't limited to Soviet history. It's about human nature itself. And that's because when people, or pigs, gain power, they don't always use it to lift others up. More often, they cling to it, even if it means silencing others, rewriting the truth, or turning allies into enemies. The book isn't just a warning about communism. It's a warning about any system, any society where power becomes more important than the people. Because whether it's on a farm, in a government, or anywhere else, when power is hoarded, corruption isn't just possible, it's inevitable.